All right, everybody, welcome. It's Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Nice to have you here. It is about 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Let's go ahead and jump into our end of day analysis here. Guys, the YouTube channel is growing like crazy. It makes me so happy to see the engagement, the comments, the likes, the shares, all that stuff really helps, and I super appreciate it. We've got a great community here, the Discord, the people in there are active, serious traders, and I just want to say, how thankful I am to all of you guys for tuning in and supporting what I'm doing here. I got to be honest, I never thought in a million years that people would even be interested in what I'm doing because it looks really weird. It's a totally new way to look at the market. And I thought people would be married to their bull flags and bear flags and candlesticks forever. And I'm just so happy to see that you guys are, not only digging what I'm laying down, but you're getting it. You're using the levels. There's people in the Discord like, hey, I used that level from yesterday. I nailed it. I passed a combine. I got my XFA. I got my first payout. There's other people who already have XFAs getting payouts. So we've got a lot of momentum here, and it's just awesome, guys. I really appreciate it. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. We do have a special giveaway going on. So if you haven't joined the Discord, the link is in the description below. Go join the Discord, look at the announcement section, and I'm giving away something that I think is pretty cool, just as a thank you back to you guys for helping us grow. We are going to launch Vol Pro Edge here in about 2 to 3 weeks. My programmer is working on the indicators for TradingView. I know a lot of you guys have TradingView and you want to just be able to, lock and load my indicators, my charts. So I'm working hard on that. Sierra Charts is already ready to go. I know some people think Sierra Charts is kind of a steep learning curve. It is if you're coming in, with no knowledge. But for those of you who want to use Sierra Charts like I have, I'm going to have tutorials in the course section where basically you're just going to be able to follow my tutorials, set up your Sierra charts, and then you're going to have my indicators. Just download them. The charts will be given to you, and you'll be able to rock and roll on Sierra charts without really even knowing that much about Sierra charts. So don't worry about any of that stuff at all. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the analysis here. This is ES, which we always start with. We work our way down through the indices first. For those of you who are new here, I know we're getting a lot of new subscribers. We've got the daily chart here to the far right, weekly chart, monthly, quarterly, yearly. We use all these together to frame our analysis and get our key levels. And that's why it works so well, because we're using the multiple time period analysis, and we're also using my formulas, which give us insane reads. So just super awesome. So if you're new here, just stick around for a while. You'll start to get the hang of the analysis and how it all works. And then once the course comes out, I'm really going to go into depth on teaching how I string all these together and how you find these key levels, really good directional calls, whether you want to swing trade, day trade, scalp if that's your thing, whatever you want. You just plug in my formulas on your multiple time periods, whether it's a 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute. If you want to use volume-based intraday charts like I do, I'll show you that in the live day trading room. But that's why I'm sharing it too, because people always say, yeah, but if you share your edge, won't it go away? No, because first of all, you got to learn it, you got to execute it. That's not easy. And second of all, there are so many different futures markets and so many different styles of trading that you'll take what I'm teaching you, you'll adapt it to your style, and you'll go make money, right? That's the goal. So I just think that we should never live in fear. People who have an edge and think, oh, if I have an edge and I share it, it's going to go away. Well, if you have an edge and it's good and you share it and it goes away, then it wasn't a good edge. That's my opinion, right? All right, let's go ahead and jump into the analysis here. ES, I mean, pretty much did what we thought it would do, right? I said I expect some support to come in here. The reason I said I thought we would see some support down here is because specifically what I was seeing on the Nasdaq, it wasn't really the ES that was tipping me off on that support level. It was the Nasdaq because of that quarterly support level. I managed to pass 3 XFAs today, 3 combines. So I'll get 3 new 150K top step XFAs, which is sweet. Can't wait to start trading those. I have no idea if I'm going to trade those tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to wait just like you guys and see what my analysis tells me and try and pick my best spots for those new XFAs, right? Like that's the name of the game. So with ES here, quite a lot of support, choppy day. The question is, are we going to push higher from here? To be honest, it's a little bit of a tough read here on ES. We are moving inside the envelope, which is key. That tells me that this trend run to the downside is losing a little bit of steam. You can see the volume was less here today. The close was inside the envelope, above the true average right there. So I think you're going to continue to see a lot of chop. I'd be careful. You know, if you've got a good range bound strategy, which I'll teach you in the course, I'll teach you in the live trading room. When I expect the day to be range bound, I have different strategies that I employ on that day based on what I'm going to expect. And that's why I've had such a good success rate with the prop firms in my own trading, is because I don't go in blind. I go into each day saying, okay, first of all, what are my favorite markets? And second of all, okay, if I think it's going to be a choppy day and I'm right, 70% of the time, something like that, not always, but most of the time we get a pretty good read with this stuff, then I'm not going to run a breakout momentum strategy that I have on my charts and my indicators. I'm not going to run that on a choppy day, right? That would be the wrong strategy on the wrong day. So if you can just figure out how to run the right strategies on the right day, it's going to increase your profitability, your consistency, like insanely. You won't even believe it, right? Because a lot of people go into the same every day. They go in with the same strategy. You can't do that. Like the markets are dynamic. They're evolving. They're changing every day. So you got to first of all know what you expect for the day, plan your day, and then trade that strategy that you have in your toolbox, your playbook, as SMB Capital likes to talk about. Trade that playbook for that day. That's the key, right? So that's what I'm trying to teach you guys here. And I can't wait to show you how I execute my playbook every single day in the live day trading room, which, yeah, we're going to launch now in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. And I can't wait because setting up all this company and, getting my programmer to do the indicators and, just it's so much infrastructure stuff, guys. Like I'm not a business infrastructure guy. I'm a trader. I can't wait to have that behind me and just go into the live trading room every day with you guys and start showing you how I execute my playbooks every single day. So with ES, I would be careful tomorrow. I mean, you've got a key level here right at that cyan dot coming in at a 55.70. We can go ahead and get the exact level there. 55.70, you got the envelope bottom and the near low there, 55, 60-ish. So that's the support I'd be looking at right there on ES. I would say, okay, if we come down into that support level, that's probably where I'd be looking to buy, right? Where would my target be? Well, up in here somewhere around the near high, that high right in there. So that would be the range I'd be looking to play. I wouldn't want to get stuck trading here in the middle because that's where you're going to get chewed up and spit out. So you got to have the discipline to know your levels, pick your levels, and then trade your levels. That's key, right? So when I'm looking at ES here today, am I looking at this going, hey guys, this is like a banger opportunity. I can't wait to just, hammer the ES with my XFAs. No, I'm looking at this going, first of all, I wouldn't even cover this in the live day trading room because I expect a choppy day, not a lot of odds on my side. So I wouldn't even trade the ES tomorrow. But for those of you who are, you love the ES, you trade it every day, use these levels, use what I'm telling you as a basis for your game plan and your trading, and you're probably going to do better than just going in blind. In fact, I know you will. All right, so with ES here, I'm expecting some chop. We've dropped pretty hard and fast. We're probably due for a little bit of a bounce here, which is why I think the daily is going to probably try to go for congestion entrance to the upside. And that's why I expect a lot of cross currents right here. Okay, so that's for ES. And remember, as we work our way through the analysis here and look at all the indices, the bonds, the metals, Bitcoin, the dollar, we get a holistic picture of what I think is going to happen because each of these markets are influencing the other markets, right? So let's go ahead and look at Nasdaq. This is where we had the great read from yesterday. I pointed out in yesterday's analysis video, we had that key quarterly support level. You see here on the Nasdaq right there on the quarterly chart. Guys, this is a quarterly chart, right? It's going to close here in about 2.5 weeks at the end of March because it's the end of the first quarter 2025. But that is a very key support level. I believe it's at 447 if I remember. Let's go ahead and look at it exactly. Yeah, 450 right in there. So that's the support level. That's why, because if you transpose this quarterly support level all the way over here to the daily, that's why I thought we would see a push up on the Nasdaq, and that's exactly what happened. So a lot of people use that information to make money today, past combines, whatever, because you had the direction on your side and you had the levels on your side, which is key. Personally, I took a break-even trade on my live account. Before I went to bed, I saw it pushing and I thought, you know what? I'm going to throw on one contract, just, $20 a point, one futures contract. And I'm going to just see if I can catch a little bit of a runner. I was up, I don't know, 400, 500 bucks before I went to bed. It was getting late here. So I said, I don't really want to manage this overnight. I don't sleep well when I've got positions on overnight. So I thought I'll move my stop to break even and maybe I'll catch a nice little push like this and have a nice day. It wasn't meant to be. I took a break even on my live account. No big deal. But I still use the analysis during the day, the following day, to pass my three combines, 150K on Top Steps, and now I got three fresh XFAs, right? Using the analysis, which is what it's all about. So what do I expect for the Nasdaq? Look, this quarterly level is still in play, guys, and this yearly level right there, that's in play. I think you're going to see some cross currents here. You're going to see some a battle between the buyers and the sellers. So you got to be very, very careful. I would be looking for support right here at 19,400 because anytime we retest that quarterly level right now, I mean, that quarterly level is there. It's valid. And until and unless it gets broken, I'm going to now be favoring on the long side for the NASDAQ, especially based on what I see going on in bonds, gold, silver, the dollar, etc. So my level for the NASDAQ, right? And look, we might just pick this level up here and squeeze. I mean, we definitely could do that, you guys, but I'm going to be looking more at that support level there near those lows, 19,400 as my key level in the NASDAQ. But when I'm looking at this, whenever the daily is entering congestion right here, we're looking for equilibrium. You got to be careful. So just use your senses. When I do the live trading room, I'll be there to guide you intraday while we're making decisions on the intraday charts based on these key end of day levels. But before I start live streaming with you guys, you got to use this analysis for yourself. And I'm trying to set you up to have a really good day. Okay. So be careful with the NASDAQ, be careful with the ES, look for your key levels, watch your intraday system. And if you feel like you get a good signal at those levels, then, go for it. Right. And remember, this is not investment advice. Somebody commented in my comment section, which I really appreciate. I probably got to put a disclaimer that I'm just sharing my analysis with you guys. At the end of the day, it's all on you. Trading is about responsibility. So it's not me telling you what to do and you're going to get rich by this or that. No, it's going to take a lot of hard work. I got a system that works. If you learn it, you've got a really good shot at becoming a consistently profitable trader, but you still got to do the work and it's not investment advice. So if I forget again, somebody remind me, I got to put that disclaimer in the description below the video. Very important. Because nowadays, people don't want to take personal responsibility. Everybody just wants everything done for them. And that's unfortunate because the more responsibility you take, the more likely you are to succeed, which is cool. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the Dow. So far for ES and NQ, I'd be looking to buy the dips. That's where I'm at with that. If tomorrow we break these key support levels and just, Trump comes out and says, hey, I'm going to, put tariffs on Canada for, 98%, right? And then the support level starts to break. Obviously don't buy the dips, but if the support level is holding, you got to like that, right? So that's what I feel about ES and NQ. So the Dow was weaker, and I said that yesterday. I said, look, NQ would be the one that I focus on, and that turned out to be the right call, right? I thought Dow had the potential to bounce. It did a little bit, but it was more choppy. But now with the Dow, we're definitely putting in a nice little support pattern here as well. So, I'd probably continue to look to buy the Dow down here as well. I wouldn't try to keep shorting right here. That's what I would do. I'm not trading the Dow right now, but for those of you who like the Dow, there could be some support right here. We'll know more when we look at, the bonds and the dollar and Bitcoin. But generally speaking, I think the indices are getting ready for a little bit of a relief rally. That's what I'm seeing. Russell, let's not cover that. We'll cover that when I start doing the full detailed end of day analysis when, for the course. And I really teach while I'm analyzing. Right now, I'm just giving you guys the summary of what I'm seeing heading into each 24-hour period. So let's go ahead and look at the 10-year. So the summary here for the indices is I think we're rounding, and I would be more in favor of buying dips against my key support levels. That's what I would like. Because you're at the point right now where, we've dropped like 15% in the NASDAQ. Everybody thinks we're going to go, minus 50% in the next 2 weeks. Everybody's calling for the end of the world. Guys, yeah, when that happens, it happens, right? But it doesn't happen until it happens. So you got to trade the markets in front of you objectively. That's the key, okay? And guys, I'm doing my best to make eye contact with you there, the camera, but I got the charts here and I'm looking at things and analyzing and thinking. So bear with me if I don't make direct eye contact all the time. I'm trying my best. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the 10-year here. Yeah, this kind of did what I thought it would do, right? I thought the bonds would continue once we saw this sell off here on the daily. That was the close from yesterday. I said I thought we should probably see some resistance and continue to roll over because the fear trade is a little bit more, it's subsided now, right? And I thought that would be the catalyst to support the indices, specifically the NASDAQ, and that's exactly what happened, right? So right now you got bonds pressing against, and guys, I know this is the 10-year note. I say bonds, for the bond complex, the 10-year, the 30-year, the ultra bond. Right now, you got the bonds, in this case, the notes, the 10-year note, pushing against our daily congestion support level. And the question is, when you're looking at this, you know, do you want to buy this daily congestion support level for a push back up here, right? I wouldn't really, because it might stabilize here a little bit, but you're coming out of a lot of resistance here on the 10-year and the bond complex. And I think that they're going to continue to be under pressure if stocks continue to round the bend and try and do a little bit of a relief rally, right? Where it's more risk on again, right? There's less fear in the market. And guys, we never know what's going to happen. Trump can tweet anytime he wants, like, hey guys, everything with Canada, China, it's all good again, no worries. And, bonds collapse, indices rally. I mean, this is why you can't get too wrapped up in the fundamentals, because we're not insiders at the fundamental table, but what we are insiders at is looking at these charts and seeing what they're telling us and trading them accordingly. That's the key. All right, so for bonds, with the notes here, I definitely wouldn't be buying this. I don't really trade these unless I see a really good setup. There's no particular good end of day setup I see here that I like, but I would look for continued resistance on bonds. And if you see the 10-year, guys, chart these, because in the live trading room, this is exactly what I'm going to do for you and show you. If I start to see this level here, 110.16, get taken out on the 10-year, and then stocks are kind of hovering at the low of the day at my support level, that gives me a lot of confirmation to go long the indices, especially NQ, if the bonds are under pressure, right? Especially if the euro continues to put in gains against the dollar. If Bitcoin's rallying, then you got more of a risk on appetite for that day. It's very, very important. All right, so let's go ahead and let's quickly look at the ultra bond. Why not? We'll hop over the 30-year. 30-year bond kind of moves like a turtle compared to the ultra bond, and the 10-year notes, man. If you ever day traded those, they move like a snail. Not that people can't make money with those; they certainly can. I like to trade the ultra bond sometimes, and we will in the live trading room. But I like to use the bonds as just an overall gauge of sentiment, right? So here you can see the ultra bond, the long end of the curve, just like we've been talking about. It's been weaker than the short end of the curve, and we're trying to break through that key congestion support level right there on the ultra bonds. It looks like the weekly is trying to roll over and head back down to the envelope bottom. You got some support coming in here on the monthly at 120-ish. That's down here on the daily. So look, that's a good sign. If we continue to be under pressure in the bond complex, that's a good sign that stocks are going to try to rally a little bit, okay? So this is how I try and string together this analysis. Let's go ahead and look at gold, see what we got shaken. I haven't looked at gold today. I just traded my my combines on the Nasdaq, and that's because right now, guys, I'm dealing with my pregnant wife, 7 months pregnant. We're trying to figure out where to have the baby here in Costa Rica. I'm setting up all this stuff for Volpro Edge, so I'm just kind of picking my spots with my own trading carefully. But when we start the live day trading room, that's what we're going to cover, all these markets. I can't wait to get back to it, right? All right, so gold here. Yesterday I said I thought there would be some resistance here, and I did. I thought there would be resistance there. It got broken. That wasn't meant to be. So gold is continuing to catch a little bit of a bid here, which is interesting because that's a little bit more of a fear trade, but maybe it's an inflation trade. Don't really know. But now that gold punched up and through that 29.30 level, you broke a lot of resistance there. I wouldn't be shorting gold here, that's for sure, because it looks like it wants to push higher. I mean, look at that monthly level. That was the key monthly level right there that had been holding this whole time, and now we broke that, right? So I think the weekly is going to want to try and at least jump up here and test these old highs, the envelope top, certainly my cyan dot there, 29.60, 29.70. So if that's the case, gold's probably going to have to try and push up here. So if I was trading gold, I'd look down in this pocket somewhere and say, look, if we just open and keep going up, I wouldn't want a piece of that. But if we got a nice pullback down here in the middle of the moving average envelope, anywhere into this pocket, 29.20, that's a spot where if my intraday system told me to look for a long, that's where I try and get long, because I do think that the higher time period energy is now trying to push a little bit higher, okay? So that's what I'd be looking for gold. I certainly wouldn't be interested in shorting gold right now. If I was in the live trading room right now, I wouldn't even be trading gold right now, because I'd want to wait for more confirmation and see what it's doing. But for those of you who trade gold, I hope this analysis helps you. Right now, the clearest trade I could see for tomorrow, we're going to go through the other markets here, but it would just be looking at those key levels for ES and NQ for support to buy the dips, especially if you see bonds, the 10-year note, the 30-year, the ultra bond heading lower. That would be a good sign to go long those indices support levels. Remember, not investment advice. All right, let's go ahead and look at silver. Probably also rallied here with gold. Let it load. Yeah, exactly. Now I remember what I said yesterday about silver, right? Remember I said with gold, I was like, yeah, I'm not too confident in that gold short. By the end of the video, if you go back and watch yesterday's video, you'll see, because this is always a work in progress. I'm going through the list and I start to adapt my thinking based on what I'm seeing across the markets. And I remember now what I said about gold yesterday when I saw silver here with this nice little pocket. I said, ooh, I wouldn't be shorting silver here at all. And then I said, probably be careful on that gold short, right? So you got to use these markets together. Silver's, certainly breaking through some good resistance as well. So look, if silver is going to start breaking through the resistance and bonds are going to, silver, yeah, it's a precious metal, but it's also an industrial metal. So it does respond to risk on, risk off. So with what I'm seeing here in silver and what I'm seeing in bonds, if they leak lower, gold and silver continue to catch a bid. I think that's looking good for the support levels in the indices, specifically ES and NQ. So keep an eye on those because now we're starting to get a little bit of a theme for tomorrow, right? Which I think is going to be a little bit more risk on. Okay, so let's go ahead. Again, when we do the full end of day analysis, I'm going to cover everything for you guys: copper, platinum, corn, wheat, soybeans, because those are going to be markets we trade. Oh, there's good evening, MSN. I love Microsoft Windows, right? Like you hover your mouse over something and it's like, hey, here's all the news. Like I don't want the news. All right, let's go ahead and look at crude. See what we had with crude. Yeah, guys, while we're waiting for crude to load, had a nice day. Did a lot of stuff for the company, did a lot of stuff for my wife, and just getting everything settled and ordered here in Costa Rica. Went and watched a really nice sunset. It was absolutely beautiful. I tried to take a picture of it and share it with you guys on Instagram, which at some point I'll do, but the picture just doesn't do justice to what you're seeing there. I'm like, I look at the picture, I'm like, this isn't even like a reflection of reality. The reality itself is so much more beautiful. The sunset here in Costa Rica, I'm from LA, born and raised, right? So Malibu, Santa Monica, our sunsets there, I don't know if it's the humidity or whatever it is, but it's more like a white golden sun, whereas here it's like a fiery red. It's so beautiful. I love it. It's absolutely stunning here in Costa Rica. All right, so crude. I told you yesterday, choppy. Don't get involved in this. That's for sure. And now we're trying to push higher here. Look, if silver and the indices are going to rally, and the dollar is going to continue to be under pressure against the euro, yeah, we could have a little bit of a relief rally here with crude for sure. I mean, I know CPI came out softer than expected today, right? I don't follow the fundamentals very closely because I'm a technical trader, but I do believe it came out softer. So maybe that means that inflation is more under control or whatever. Although we know it's not when we go to the grocery store. Stuff is through the roof. My God. But anyways, the CPI shows maybe a softening. So that might mean, hey, the Fed, if we start to get into more trouble here on the indices, the Fed can come in and maybe do a rate cut, half a point or whatever, right? 50 basis points. And then that would cause, the metals to head higher. That would cause cruise to head higher. The stock market would reverse and go higher. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen because right now, everybody out there that's been doom and gloom for like the last 10 years, they always think the stock market, it's always going to crash. It's always doom and gloom. Guys, it's within the purview of those who manage the economy in the government, the central bank. They want to keep things nice and rosy, right? They don't want people to be under too much pressure. So it's within their best interest to keep this thing afloat and kind of keep things pushing higher. They're trying to manage inflation, right? So just keep that in mind. Like everybody on YouTube, these big channels, just this thumbnail clickbait crap. Oh, here's the crash. Here's the crash. And then people buy into that crap. Like, yeah, one day there probably will be a crash, but when it happens, we'll trade it. Until then, we just got to trade the charts, right? So I say all that, and it's a little bit of a tangent, but you've got, I mean, look, the yearly chart here on crude. I mean, look, this is hard to read, guys. I mean, look what's going on in the yearly chart here with crude oil. I mean, this is a disaster, right? I mean, you're just getting tighter inside bars. So something big is going to happen when this breaks out. Until then, who knows? It's going to be choppy and hard to read, and you don't really want to trade a market like that, right? So I don't know. Crude, I probably wouldn't trade right now, although it looks like it probably wants to squeeze a little bit higher, especially if silver and gold hold on to their support levels, bonds sell off, and the indices hold their support levels. Okay, so if you're a crude oil trader, I'd say be careful, but you got a lot. Like, would I buy here? No, I wouldn't. And if crude just, decided it wanted to go like that and I missed it, oh my God, I don't care. I wait for my levels. So, I would be looking at that 66 level down there. That's where I would be. Crude can be wild, right? So if you got lucky and got a spike down there intraday, and then, you look to buy that, that's the place you'd want to buy that like that for the continued move up the next couple of days. So wouldn't be chasing crude here, but that's kind of the level I'd be looking at. Let's go ahead and look at natural gas. Some people like natural gas. I'll go ahead and cover it for you guys. Natural gas has also been very hard to read lately. And see, it's okay to say that, right? Like when we use our charts here and my indicators and all this stuff, I can see very clearly when a market is just confusing. That's good knowledge to know when not to trade a market. Not getting chewed up and spit out in the crappy market conditions is going to save you so many losses, and it's going to allow you to more easily capitalize and bank your wins and be consistently profitable, right? Like I think people feel like they need to trade every day. They need to trade, 15 times every day. And it doesn't really matter if they can't read the market for that day. There's opportunity there. I got to get it. It's like, no, that's the wrong attitude. The right attitude is to come in with a plan and look at what is clear and trade that market. It's so key, guys. All right, so natural gas, yeah, continue to roll over. I think we talked about this yesterday. I said I wouldn't really be trading it, but you have a lot of longs trapped. We had gapped open last night. So yeah, I think natural gas is going to continue to be under pressure. That ended up being the good call. For those of you who trade natural gas, kept you on the right side of the market. I hope that helped. I mean, what we are seeing, and guys, at the end of this month, we're going to have the monthly chart here closing, right? For the end of the month. We're going to have the quarterly chart closing, and we're going to get all of our information on what we expect for the next month and the next quarter. And when you have these higher time period idea of what's happening, this macro view, it allows you to go into the weekly and the daily with a lot more information, because you want to trade the weekly and the daily in line with those higher, monthly, quarterly charts, and the yearly too, right? So super important. The mosquitoes are getting me, guys. I'm O positive in my blood type, and the mosquitoes love the O positive. I'm just scratching my fingers. I'm out there on the beach watching the sunset. I'm getting eaten alive, but it's worth it, right? But here you can see the reason I brought that up with the monthly chart. Look at this, guys. We're getting a huge exhaust up here on natural gas for resistance, right? Big. Yearly is firing down, pulling back to the middle of the envelope here. A lot of resistance on the quarterly exhaust. So, that might have been that last little hurrah there to trap people, and now we're really rolling over. So if you're a natural gas trader, I'd probably look to short bounces, like I've been saying for the last couple of days, since I could see those longs were trapped right there. And yeah, you can see that shadow on that daily bar. Sure, that tells you that the longs are trapped, but you can also see my key levels, guys. Like we violated these dots. We kept going higher, and then we settled right below those. That's strong resistance. And you had the live dots right there too, strong resistance, and then just continue to roll over, right? And now look, you're breaking through. What are you breaking through? Strong support right there, right? So natural gas probably going to continue to be under pressure. Now, is there a level I like? Yeah, probably 4.4. Look at all that stacked right there. Keep an eye on that level if you trade natural gas. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to the euro against the dollar. And then we'll go ahead and look at Bitcoin to round it off. And we'll see what we got shaking. I'll give you my summary here at the end of the video. Do remember, please, to like the video, comment. It helps a lot. Go to the Discord so you can see the fun giveaway thing we're doing. I can't really talk about it here on YouTube, but in Discord, I can post it freely. So you go in there to Discord, you see what the fun giveaway is in the announcements, and then it'll give you a shot to win something pretty cool, which is, yeah, personal mentorship and my time for you, right? And my time is valuable. So for those of you who end up winning that prize, believe me, it's going to make a difference in your trading when I get to spend one-on-one time with you and really go over stuff with you, especially when you start to learn and understand, my indicators, my charts to the course and all that kind of stuff. So check out Discord, link in the description. Hopefully the link's not expired. I've been posting an expired link in Discord for like 3 weeks until I figured out those links expire every 7 days. Not a Discord expert by any stretch, learning. All right, so here's the euro against the dollar. Yeah, we continue to just grind. We've been talking about this. It's like, okay, are we going to get a little bit of a pullback now? Maybe, but I mean, looking at the weekly, the monthly, I mean, the euro's bullish right now, which is also why I think the indices are going to, round the bend a little bit, bonds sell off. So This is just giving us more insight into the risk on if the euro continues to be bid. So if I was trading the euro, I mean, I wouldn't want to buy here, certainly not. I wouldn't want to short here, not against all this higher time period energy pushing to the upside. So it's okay. Well, if I trade the euro, yeah, well then I would watch that level right there from that dot at the envelope bottom to that pink dot right in there. That's where if this daily tries to go for congestion entrance down, it should be picked up. You should have a strong congestion support floor for a move back up like this because you've got so much higher time period energy support pushing higher here, right? So this is how we do the analysis in a very logical, structured way. And no matter what your market, guys, if the euro was your market and that's all you want to trade, you could use this analysis every single day to pick your spots, and then you just use the intraday system I'll teach you with the volume-based intraday bars especially, and just wait for your levels. And if your levels get hit 2 or 3 times a week, you're going to have the odds hugely on your side, right? It's just so key. All right, let's go ahead and finish off. I don't feel like looking at corn today. We're gonna cover all the ags and the meats and all that. We're getting there. Let's finish off with Bitcoin. This video has already been going for 31 minutes. My God, I can't even believe it. 31 minutes goes fast. You know, when you're talking, you're doing these videos, it's like blah, blah, and then just boom, 31 minutes. I can't even believe it. All right, let's let Bitcoin load. We'll finish with that. If you guys have any questions for me, Discord is a good place to ask, but here in the YouTube comment section, it really helps if you ask your questions here first, because that helps YouTube, see that, hey, there's value here with this channel. It'll push it out to the algorithm. We can get other interested serious traders here, which is good because we got something special going on here. There's not a lot of people out there that I know of, or anybody who's doing this kind of analysis and using a logical structured approach every day based on proprietary indicators and telling you what I think is going to happen before it happens, right? Like I'm going out there saying, hey, this is what I think is going to happen. Here's why I think it's going to happen. Is it always right? No, but it's right a lot more than it's wrong. And you can use that information to make money, right? Because if you have the knowledge, but you don't act on it, it doesn't do you any good. You got to be able to have the knowledge and act on the knowledge. That's the key. All right, Bitcoin, for whatever reason, seems like it wants to take years and years to load tonight. So I'll pause while we wait for Bitcoin to load. All right, wonderful news. Bitcoin decided to load, which I'm thrilled about. Let's look at the daily chart here with Bitcoin. We will cover Ethereum and what's the other one? I can't remember. I don't know. Tell me in the comment section. It's Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the other futures market we can trade on crypto. So here, look, you can see I've been talking about this key support level on the monthly right there for Bitcoin. We're now pushing up out of that. Look at the quarterly, a lot of support right there, right? So that's why I think that you're going to see a lot of support here on the weekly, and that's why I thought the daily was going to find support here and push higher and go for congestion entrance to the upside. That's what's happening, right? So again, would I be longing right here Bitcoin? No, but if we try to dip down here, I mean, look at all those dots stacked right there. I would just be watching and waiting and loving that level. See, this is what you guys want. You want to find value, right? So the weekly's pushing up out of all that. There's trap shorts. You got a ton of monthly support. You got a ton of quarterly support. So I don't need to chase this. I just dare it to come down here. And on my intraday system, if it does come down there and I like what I see, I buy it because that's the low risk entry. And then I look for a push back up here. And these are the kind of things I'd be looking for in the live day trading room. So, okay, we're going to follow Bitcoin today. Where's my level? Right here. Let's go ahead. Where are all these dots stacked? Boom. 78, 780. Interesting. 7878. Maybe there's a numerological thing there. Can't even speak. But I would mark that level out. I'd say, okay, that's going to be on one of my screens. If Bitcoin goes down there when we're in the live trading room, we're hanging out, we're waiting. Does Bitcoin go down there? If it does, we may have a great opportunity along. Same thing with the Nasdaq. Do we go down the support level? We may have a great opportunity along. So this is the way you got to structure your trading, and you can't be scared of not trading for a day. You can't be scared of missing out. There are times to hammer the market and make a lot of money, and there are times to conserve your capital. I've made a lot of money the last 6 to 8 months, and right now, while building the cores and doing all this stuff, there's also, I can see in the market condition, even though we're generally on the right side of the market, it's not a time to take a huge amount of risk at all. So you don't need to take risk all the time. Like if you hammer your moments, 3-4 months out of the year, you can make more than enough money for the whole year. And the rest of the year, you just hit base hits, make your money, live a good life, enjoy life. You don't have to get FOMO that you're missing out if you're not trading every day. So I think these psychological aspects are super helpful for you guys to understand, because that's what's going to turn you into a consistently profitable trader. All right, guys, I'm rambling. That's it. Happy Wednesday night. post your comments in the section below the video. Go join the Discord. Check out the Discord announcements so you can see the special giveaway we're doing. It's really cool. And yeah, we'll just keep it going, man. We got a lot of people interested in Vol Pro Edge, which I'm stoked about. Go to volproedge.com. Forgot to mention that. Fill out the survey that I've got there for the wait list and tell me about yourself. And I'm gauging what kind of product you guys want and what you think it's worth. And then we're going to structure the live trading room, the indicators, all that stuff based on your feedback. You know, so far we got a lot of people in there. I'm thrilled. I literally thought we'd get like 4 or 5 people, and it's a lot more than that, which is cool. That tells me that you guys are really, you know, enjoying this. You're finding value in what I'm putting out there, and that makes me want to work harder for you guys too. So go to volproedge.com, check that out, and I will see you guys back tomorrow. Or for those of you in Discord, I'll see you tonight when I post comments about what I'm trading. I might trade one of my XFAs. I'll be marking out my levels, keeping an eye on things while I'm doing other things with the family and admin stuff for Vol Pro Edge. All right, take care, you guys. Good luck tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with the end of day analysis around the same time. Cheers.